Okay, everyone, it is Tuesday, March 5th, and this is our Lunch and Learn. This Lunch and Learn, actually, I also opened up to those that are in the group called Meet Me in St. Martin. And the Meet Me in St. Martin group is those that are focused on earning our new incentive trip to St. Martin. So some of you are in that group, and some of you saw these notifications twice, and others of you are guest participants in today's Lunch and Learn. So if those on our team that are seeing some other names, that is why. And the reason why I'm doing it this way today is that over the weekend, I realized that I already earned my trip to St. Martin, which was super exciting. It's definitely the fastest that I've ever earned a trip. And Jennifer Bonds posted in the trip group, "Hey, Michelle, can you share one tip about earning a trip?" So I was thinking about it for a while, and the one tip that I have applies not just to earning a trip, but to running a successful business in any arena, whether it's you are trying to earn something for convention, whether you're trying to earn your rich rewards, whether you just have a specific income goal each month that you want to hit. Whatever it is, the answer is always the same. And that answer is mind your business. Now, people always find it funny when I say mind your business, because I guess the rest of the country also says mind your own business. But this is, it's not just that when you think about somebody saying mind your own business or mind your business, it really has two completely separate sections, kind of, because mind your business really does have a twofold meaning. So the number one thing about minding your business is that you have to always be paying attention. So that's what I mean about mind your business. That's like kind of old language, right? When you say, who's going to mind the kids? Mind your business. We need to always be paying attention. So what are the things that we're paying attention to? Number one is our show schedule, right? That is the number one thing we need to be paying attention to, is our show schedule. So you must know, what are my upcoming open dates? When are my upcoming shows? Do they have their invites? Have I been doing the host coaching with those hostesses? The shows that I did that are still open, do those hostesses know how many orders that they need in order to get their double free credit, in order to hit another level of some sort of rewards? Are those hostesses, do they have a catalog and an order form, and do they have their hot link ready? Did I provide them a paragraph text to forward on? Did I do an after the show email for those that attended that show? Okay, all of those things are part of your show schedule. So when someone says to me, oh, I would love to have a show on a Friday night, I know automatically that the next Friday I have to fill is March 29th. It's funny, somehow that last Friday in March is not yet booked. Even though I have Fridays booked in April, that one is the next available open one. I wouldn't have to open a calendar to know it. I just know that my next available Friday is March 29th, because in actuality, I feel like that should have been booked already. So that's what I'm working on. So that is minding your business with regards to your show schedule. Okay. Number two thing you must always be paying attention to are your customers. So what are the groups of your customers? Number one, am I paying attention to my VIP group? So this year I've really taken a lot of control over being consistent with my VIP group. So in other words, each week I have committed to doing a live for them on Fridays. Now, I may have had to adjust the time. The goal time is 12 o'clock, but 2 Fridays ago, I actually had a show at that time. So I did their live at 11 a.m. that day. But I already told them on the live I did this past week that this Friday's live will take place from Italy, and whatever, I'm just going to do it from the trip. I'll have to look at the times and stuff so that I'm not online at 2 o'clock in the morning New York time, but either way, I'm doing a live, and I have a schedule, which I have shared with you guys, what goes on every single week, so that I know what it is that I'm going to be focusing on each and every week. that way, when I go ahead and do some sort of sale or run a special, they haven't just seen a picture of the jewelry. They've seen it in person as best as you can see. Like, they've seen it live on the computer. They've seen me wearing it. They've seen me hold it up to the camera. They've heard me talk about it. They've seen other pictures of wearing it. So now they want it. Okay, we have our customer care to take care of. So are we paying attention to our customer care? Are you following up with people that have recently received jewelry? Maybe it wasn't even that recently. It's never too late to go back and check in on people's jewelry. Never. So if you have to go back, you know, if you want to start most recent and work backwards, or if you want to start from the summer and move forwards, either way, those check-ins need to be taken care of. I have provided you with the words to use and the conversation starter to have, and how to proceed on with trying to get people booked at that point and things like that. So it's just a matter of making the time to actually do it. And also paying attention to your customers is customer emails. So I choose to use Constant Contact for my customer emails. At shows, I like to take pictures of the guests wearing the jewelry. And then after a show, we send out an email using Constant Contact to every attendee and to the hostess with the pictures from the show and thanking them for attending, the links to the pieces that they're wearing to the hostess's link. I encourage them to forward that email to anyone that they know that would have liked to order on this party. It makes it easier for the hostess to forward the email on to anybody who didn't come, and it often helps with follow-up outside orders. And then those people are all loaded into my customer base, who I email at least twice a week, more at Christmas, more when a new collection comes out and things like that. So that they are getting constant contact. Well, that's actually the program's name, but they're getting, you know, consistent follow-up from me as far as staying in touch. Nobody's ever stuck with jewelry they don't care for. Sometimes the email that I get back from someone would be, you know, hey, I'm so glad you emailed. I broke my such and such, and then I can send them an RMA and take care of it so that they are like, oh, great, I'm going to get a new necklace, instead of just being annoyed that they have a broken piece lying around, right? So yesterday, I sent out an email about the Facebook Live that we're doing today at 2:30. And somebody messaged back, actually a recent hostess messaged back and said, thanks so much for thinking of me. I might consider it in the future, but right now I think you should reach out to Jeanette. And she named a guest from her show that she thinks might be interested. So I got a lead for a recruit just from sending out this customer email follow-up. So that's all part two, number two, paying attention to your customers. And the third section that we need to be paying attention to is our recruiting, okay? We need to mind our business regarding recruiting. So leads for recruits, we need to consistently be looking for new recruits. Remember, we get to decide who's a recruit lead. They can say no, but we get to decide who the recruit leads are, whether it's a guest you really, really liked at a show, whether it's somebody in your social media group, in your VIP group that's constantly on it and always purchasing. You're going to start, and put them into your recruit leads. They're obviously loving being a customer. They might love being a stylist. We need to be following up with the existing recruit leads, and then it also, that's the leads part, but we also need to be paying attention to our actual recruits, right? So are you working with your newest recruits? Are you doing a launch for them? Are you going again? Okay, I like to try to go again at some point, especially, when they ask me to. I really make an extra effort, but I'll reach out to them and often say, hey, do you have a show upcoming? I'd love to come with you. Sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't, but I'm definitely happy to go with them again. Are we working the new person checklist with them? Are they on the call every Tuesday? Have they participated in a Tuesday night welcome call? These are all things that contribute to new recruits' success. So we need to be following up with them. Okay, so that's 3 things that we need to be paying attention to in order to grow the business, right? Our show schedule, our customers, and our recruiting. All right, so that's that section of mind your business, right? Where you're paying attention to the 3 main aspects of your business. But now, what about the classic thought of mind your business, right? This means, this is the mind your business part. All right. Yes. Part of why I earned a trip quickly is because I started minding my business. And what that means is that you put your head not down, because people say put your head down and work. I'm not a big fan of head down. I'm a fan of head forward, because that's the direction we want to move, right? We want our head forward. So we're not looking side to side and looking at what's going on over here and looking what's going on over here. We're not looking over our shoulder. We're not looking behind us. We are looking forward, okay? So what does this mean? Number 1, I would like you to slim down your social media. There are a lot of things on social media that provide us unnecessary distractions. So a few action steps I suggest that you take. Number 1, go to your groups section on your social media, on your Facebook especially, but you can do this on your Instagram as well, and unfollow any accounts that are not making you feel good, making you feel bad in any way, causing a distraction, making you aggravated. Any groups that you're in, and you'll be amazed when you go and you're like, I didn't even know I was in these groups. Because people take the liberty of adding people to groups all the time. So you are going to remove yourself from any groups that you don't need to be in. And if you feel like it's going to create an issue where somebody notices you're not in their group anymore, then make sure that you are turning the notifications off, because you don't need your phone lighting up every 2 seconds when you are trying to work. If you're doing your power hour and you have 15 minutes to make customer care calls, you don't need to be getting notifications from some group that has really no meaning to your life, no value to what you have going on. So unfollow those Instagram accounts that are not providing you what you truly need and make you feel good and provide positivity in your life. Leave any Facebook group you don't need. Then you're going to start unfollowing. That's number 2. You're going to unfollow any person that is causing a distraction for you. And that could be family members that are overposting. It can be someone who's ridiculously political and aggravating you. It could be business related where it's, some park laners that are just too noisy for you. Unfollow, so that you are only receiving on your social media things that are positive, things that help you, things that make you feel good, things that you enjoy. Okay? I love, following some of my family members. I have a cousin that's a vegetarian, and I'm not a vegetarian, but I certainly like to try things that are, and she'll repost things. There's all kinds of things out there that we enjoy. So keep the things you enjoy. But somebody, that is just posting things that aggravate you, unfollow them. You don't need to see it, and they never know. Now, what you're not going to do is unfollow any team pages or places that benefit your business. I have had, come up to me several times, I'm at work and a lot of notifications go on, and I unfollowed the team page. Well, obviously you can do what you want, but wouldn't it just be better to let them accumulate and look at them later? Because if you unfollow your team page, how do you know when the Zooms are? How do you know a new jewelry pairing? How do you know what the recognition is, when the next training is, when your next meeting is? You don't. And you're going to be very out of touch. So you need to continue to follow your team pages. Now, we do have different levels of team pages. So if you feel that certain team pages, because they're more removed from your immediate leader, can be just on highlights, or you can put it on that you just get, a summary at the end of the day and stuff, that's fine. But your main team page with your main leader, you need to be following that. So please do not unfollow that. So I typically will unfollow people on a daily basis because I'll scroll through. I'll be scrolling my newsfeed on Facebook, and several times a day I'll say, who is that? So if I don't know who it is, they're getting unfollowed. That means that it's somebody who probably friended me at convention or something, and truth be told, I don't know who it is. Sometimes people friend you from like your local mom group and stuff, but the reality is I'm never going to meet her. I don't really know who she is, and I don't really need to know what she's having for lunch, what diet plan she's on, and all of this stuff. Unfollow. Because the longer you can scroll your newsfeed without seeing reruns, the more time you're going to waste on Facebook. So just unfollow so that eventually you've seen everybody you're interested in. You can turn off your Facebook and move on with your day. Another way that you can mind your business, are you getting asked questions? This may apply a little bit more if you're a leader in terms of business, but it can definitely apply to all areas of your life. Are people asking you questions? Are people disrupting your day, asking you questions that they can easily find the answer to on their own? If so, answer them later, because that's a bad habit that needs to be broken. If somebody is constantly coming to you to ask questions that the answer is easily located, then don't answer, because guess what? They're going to look on their own while they wait for you to hear back. So then later, when you check back and say, hey, couldn't answer you before, were you able to find your answer? 9 times out of 10, they say yes. And then you'll notice that those types of questions start subsiding. You're minimizing those future distractions by letting them look on their own, or by answering them with where the answer is. My team knows I'm pretty good for that. If they ask me a question, I generally answer right away, either with the answer, if it's something that I definitely need to provide the answer to, or I respond pretty quickly with where the answer can be located. Because really what I want to develop is independent people. People who know how to run their own business, people who can answer their own team's questions so that they know where the answers to things are. And I'm certainly more than happy to provide an answer with where an answer is so that they can go find it. Now they know, and they're empowered to answer their own questions and their team questions moving forward. But this absolutely applies to your children, your spouse, your child's school and PTA and all that. People will ask you stuff like this all the time in all areas of your life. Your kids should not be asking you some very basic things about your own house where you live, right? So teach your kids to where the answers are, not so much giving them the answers all the time. And remember that it's okay to say no. Okay, this is also part of minding your business, is that you don't have to be involved in everything. We all know what FOMO is, right? Fear of missing out. And some people suffer hard from FOMO, and they want to be involved in every school thing and every friend thing and just everything out there. They want to be a part of it. But guess what? It's okay to say no to things that are going to cause you distractions distractions too often. So, for example, when my kids were in elementary type age school, this is where I really had to apply this, because I love, being involved with my kids, but I did not want to be at school every day. That's why there's school. So moms have time to do things while the kids are in school. I have time to run my business. I don't need to be up in the school's business. So I never ever put in to be class mom, or whatever your school calls it, right? Room mom, class captain, whatever. And I'm not saying, if you enjoy those things and it is not affecting your business, of course you should do it. But if you are trying to streamline, which I was. I was not being class mom. Now, what I did really enjoy doing was baking the cupcakes for any class party that existed. My own kids' birthdays. I would even do it if somebody asked me for someone else's birthday, for the St. Patrick's Day party, the Christmas, the holiday, the this, the that. I made cupcakes for every kind of occasion there was. Because guess what? That was a one-shot deal. I baked the cupcakes. I got to bring them up to school. Some teachers let me stay for the party. If that was fine, I did. Some teachers didn't like the parents in the class for the party. No problem. I'll head right home. But my kids knew I made the cupcakes, and I had a great reputation in the school where I used to have parents call me on the whoever was the class mom, and they would say, "Oh my gosh, we're so glad you're on the class list. No one likes to bake." And I was like, "Yep, you let me know anytime." If I saw a field trip, I really, really enjoyed the destination, I would put my name in, but not too often. I would find those class trips really exhausting, and it was a whole day out of the office. But so I would, but I made that decision. I decided I wanted to go to Old Bethpage Village Restoration, but not to, whatever other, not to, Laser Zone and whatever. All of these things were decisions that I made based on what I knew I could handle and what time I had when it was taking place. Class mom, they're telling you when you have to be there. A field trip, you get to decide, am I free that day or not? So anything that was like a la carte, that's the kind of stuff that I would. So you can apply this to your Girl Scout commitments, to if you want to be the team mom or just the mom that sometimes brings the snacks to the games you're going to anyway. All of those things are what applies. So, where's my third? Okay, so that is all part of Mind Your Business. You have your Mind Your Business parts that are paying attention to your business, and the Mind the Business parts that are you paying attention to your own business. So with that, I'm going to go back to where I can see everybody. Any thoughts, questions, or additions to anything that I have shared so far? Anything that's worked for you or you agree or disagree with? I know that pretty much everybody's on mute, so I'll give you a second to unmute.
I just want to say, preach it, sister, because I totally resonate with everything that you've said, and thank you for just keeping it cut and dry and keeping me specifically on task and on point, and thank you. So that's what I have to say.
Good, I'm glad.
I think
Ashley.
I'm loving having like the blocked out times, and that's being how I've been minding my businesses, the power hour, and then little things I've been throwing in one day a week, and it's just, that is how I pay attention to it, and that's that. There's nothing but's in the way.
Yeah.
If I keep those times and make it their priority around like everything else, everything gets done, and that's it.
I love it. Now, for those of you that don't know either of the two ladies that just spoke, so Jen has two younger elementary age kids, and she does work full-time, mostly out of the house, but sometimes at home, and so she has some flexibility and does have like the little ones. Ashley homeschools. She has 4, one of which is an infant. Well, I guess he's not really an infant anymore, but he's definitely a baby. So, yeah. Oh, there he is. Hey, Teddy. So, these are, working around what you have in your household, and some of you have kids, some of you don't, some of you have jobs outside of Park Lane, some of you don't, but everybody has somebody else pulling on your time. Everybody has social media all up in their face, and everybody has to pay attention to the same aspects of the business, right? We all have to pay attention to our show schedule, our customers, and our recruiting. And we can certainly all benefit from minimizing the noise all around us. You see, just thinking about how it was back in the day till now, probably most of our moms had some sort of hobby, right? When I was younger, my mom used to crochet. Then for a while she did needlepoint. Then for a while she did like painting stuff, and we used to paint little. You know what's one of the biggest reasons why now people don't have hobbies? Because your hobby is scrolling your phone. Our hobby is hanging out on Facebook instead of doing the needlepoint and making the blankets and all the things that we used to do. And we say we don't have time for hobbies, but what we don't do is make time. We choose our hobby to be social media. And if that's the way of the world and you enjoy that and we enjoy that, that's fine. But within reason, right? If your social media is becoming all consuming you and keeping you from your business, that's why I'm suggesting thinning it out. You know, people think all the time about their diet as what they eat, right? Your diet is what you're bringing into your body, but your diet is not just what you eat and bring into your body, it's what you bring into your body in all areas. So if you're following Instagram accounts that make you feel like, you know, less than in some way, whether it's in your appearance, whether it's in your achievements or your parenting. There's a whole lot of mom shaming that goes on out there in social media. Unfollow those accounts. And if you have, like I was saying, anything that is making you feel like you're constantly questioning yourself, you need to unfollow it, because everybody has opinions. And that's all part of the diet that you're bringing yourself each day. So if that diet needs to be cleaned up in order for you to have enough time to put your head forward and work and pay attention to your business, then that is what you need to do. Any other thoughts, questions? Well, I am super proud of us for keeping it to an actual 30-minute lunch and learn. Usually we tend to get long on our lunch and learn, so I'm glad that I was able to keep it on time today. Keep in mind that tomorrow is Wednesday, March 5th, which means it's the end of week 1 for March. So if you want to get paid this week, make sure you close your business by tomorrow evening. Also, the sooner you put in your 1,000, the sooner you can redeem for your Rich Rewards level 1. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and do that. Also, remember that paying attention to your recruiting today means you're going to get people on the opportunity event that I am doing in 2 hours. It's taking place at 2:30 today Eastern time, so 1:30 Central, and whatever time, 11:30, I think that is Pacific. So if you have not invited people into the Check Us Out group, if you've not messaged anyone that you've been thinking of them, they love the jewelry, maybe you'd love being a stylist, then by all means, you have 2 hours to get some people in there. And even if they can't watch it live in the middle of the day, that's understandable. They might be at work. Most lives of any kind, whether it's in your VIP or anything, most lives are watched on replay. So always let them, if they say, oh, I can't, I'm at work, no problem, you can watch the replay and then just tag them in it when I'm done. Okay, so let's make it a goal for everybody to add at least 5 people to that group in the next 2 hours. I would like there to be over 400 people in that group by the time I do that live. We're in the 380s right now, and I feel very confident that we can have 400 people in that group by the time I do that live at 2:30. Please let me help you build your team today and get some questions answered and get some people wanting to book decider shows. All right, so have a great rest of the day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.